Good evening, my dudes and dudettes. Here we are. Another Wednesday night. Hello, CC's Aqua Escapes. First one in. Thank you, my dear. I missed your stream. I'll have to catch the replay. Yeah, I turned my stuff off about like halfway through Dan's fish. I needed to shower and take care of some things around the house. Hello, Vibes. Good evening, sir. Stephen P. Welcome in. Only Oscars. Hello, hello. Cora Works. Welcome. Who is Woden and who is Witchin? Thank you, Coro. See, you get me, man. Like, that's what I like about you, man. Um, Jeff Kane, welcome in. Listening on the drive home, they were out of LP. Um, LP. Lizard plecos, leopard plecos, more likely, right? Or isn't a record an LP? Jeff, were you out searching for vinyl, bruh? So good to see everyone. Welcome. Let's gather up. Let's chill. It's been a week for me, but we are moving forward. We're doing good. Vibes is at Waterburger. All is right with the world. They'll hook you up, Vibes. They'll fill your belly full of French fries. Biscuits and sausage and gravy, tacos and sweet tea. There you go, buddy. They got it all. Liquid petroleum. They got no gas. Oh, Jeff. I'm sorry, buddy. That is a pain in the butt, and that causes people to freak out, which makes it a larger pain in the butt. So, Vibes is packing for camping. Good luck to you, sir. Dude, being out in nature, it's going to solve so many more problems than being online. That's for sure. We're looking at my 20-gallon long full of gambusia from the collection point Brushy Creek. This is my only location specific fish. It is a very common fish. Uh, let's see. I think I've seen some on CC Stream. I mean, who else is showing off Gambusia, right? You can't see this everywhere. Probably because it can't be monetized. You know what I mean? Like, good luck to all those out there trying to monetize, trying to make it happen. I wish the best to you. I got my CPR certification without getting molested too much by the state of our current world. My goldfish are hungry. Hold on, we're gonna have some echo here. I can fix it, I think. I think that'll do it. So let's talk, guys. Here I am. Well, it's not great, but it'll work. I can't see. Give me a sec. So my eyes are definitely getting used to my glasses. When I don't have them, I notice that I can't see fine print. Hello, Fish Fam Link. Welcome in. M&C, you've showed your gambusia several times. That's what I'm talking about, man. Excellent. Don't tell Ken's, but I am feeding my gambusia premium guppy plate. Pretty sure it's not meant for them. Oh, yeah, June. I find that reading comments in the chat helpful, and when I hang my iPad so that it could show my shoulders and my lady lumps here, in order for it to be and see some stuff in the background, it's just a little bit farther than I need to hold it in focus without my glasses. So that is true. That is true, CC. Yeah, I was making a joke that, they're not premium guppies. You know what I mean? Which is what most people say. But like, I like to think of them as like non-fancy in the fact that they don't have a lot of coloration and stuff like that. They just look like your normal drab kind of minnow, you know what I mean? Which helps them in a natural setting, um, to avoid predators and stuff like that. But just like guppies from their natural environments and stuff like that, it's just like they'll grow anywhere. But I have found that gambusia can have the street smarts that guppies don't. Like these guys don't sleep on the bottom of the tank. You know what I mean? Like a guppy will. They still have a lot of gumption. I would say switch out gambusia for any fancy guppy that's having a trouble in a community tank because they're getting picked on, and just take the guppies out and put the gambusia in there, and I think it'll stop. Only Oscars. My iPad needs to be 5 foot. I have an iPad Mini, and honestly, like I feel pretty good about it. I like it quite a bit. It gets the job done. You know what I mean? Like I can share things on a screen. I'm using my iPhone for the other for the picture of the tank. Oh, that's awesome, CC. So, like, so, yeah, the melanistic gambusia, they definitely look cool, man. Like, I like the black dots on any fish. So, like, the what do I have? I have some mollies and stuff like that, and like, man, like, I love mollies with little black flecks all over them. I think that that's really cool. I have some that are more of a tan color, and then I have some that are white. So more of like the Dalmatian coloring and stuff like that. I think that's cool. Only Oscars, you're a big fan of stripes. I do like stripes. So yeah, the theme tonight, patterns, man. I mean, like every sense of the word is what I was thinking about for tonight's conversation. Right? Only Oscars, the old prison clothes. Also what, like the Emerald Rasbora, right? That one has stripes on it. Huawei. Good to see you, brother. Uh any Australian folks in the chat? Everybody okay? I guess you guys are in the middle of it right now, so we'll find out. We'll find out what happens later. Yeah, man. Weather around the globe. We had crazy winds here, and from what I understand, it ended up going eastward. and stuff like that. Like it kicked up the dust around here like something fierce. There was like kind of a mustard brown tinge to the air because it was like picking up every loose piece of dirt everywhere and just kicking it up into the air. So like the sky was extremely gray. CC tiger teddies are on my list as well. I mean, I could tell you a million reasons why I'm not ready for them right now, but also, um, I mean, does anybody here not want tiger teddies? I mean, like they're cool looking fish, you know what I mean? Like they're popular for a reason. I feel like that one's an easy one. I mean, maybe only Oscars, you know what I mean? Because it's not an Oscar. Yep, the tiger barbs, tigerlemia. I've had tigerlemia before. They didn't do very well for me, but I had them in a 10-gallon tank, and I might have been buying old breeders and stuff like that. So they might have been on their way out anyway, but I was talking with Skull at the time and stuff like that, and he was like, they probably needed a little bit bigger of a tank, and they'll just like dwindle off, kind of like mine did. You know what I mean? It wasn't like I come in and everything in the tank is dead. You know what I mean? It'd just be like there'd be one missing and another one missing and another one missing. Okay, so Stephen P is like, I need something bigger to look at than a tiger teddy. So that's why. So yes, his eyesight would prevent him from wanting the tiger teddy. Okay. Well, I mean, you could just use a magnifying glass like Jeff Pelham, man. Get in there. I mean, like I feel like that's coming for me eventually. You know what I mean? Like, um, put a lens on. I mean, if you're what are those lenses that sit in front of your face and you like put on, they're like a shield and you put them on and then they're like this. My friend had some of those because he was doing some stuff with some drones and stuff like that, and he was making some modifications. So in order to see the small electronics and stuff like that, he picked up a pair of those and was using those so that he could have the magnification he needed so that he could get those connections and not actually be like connecting it to like several things at once and like messing it up. Like I might be doing some of that later on in my fish career. CC short body Oscars. I didn't even know that was a thing. They looked real strange, healthy though. Interesting. That's a trip. But yes, welcome to the Wednesday witching hour, everyone. Another beautiful week in the fish room. Did not get as much done as I wanted to in the fish room, but I have dug a hole that my wife filled with a banana plant that we received in the mail. From what I understand, the bananas will be blue and they taste like vanilla ice cream. So I automatically think that we have been lied to. And, I mean, like, I wish it the best, but super windy yesterday. So totally tore up the 4 leaves that it's got on it. It's about 3 foot high right now. So yeah, it might do fine. We'll find out. But we got it watered and everything. The wife was worried. Also built a strawberry trough. I With the jigsaw that I have, it's a handheld Black and Decker. Um, I ordered a piece for it a long time ago because it was broken. And I actually got the piece on there wrong the first time, got it back off, got it back on the right way, then had to adjust that sled piece on the bottom of it because it was hitting part of it. So got it all figured out, able to cut wood again with the jigsaw, ladies and gentlemen. So I'm very proud. The few power tools that I own, one of them is back online, and that jigsaw is pretty handy. You know what I mean? Especially if you're cutting anything that is fence board in thickness. You know what I mean? Like, or less. You know what I mean? Like, very cool. Um, the wind blew over a tank I had stacked on top of another tank outside. Granted, both of those tanks were broken to begin with, but there were large pieces of glass around, so I had to pick those up. I have put the large pieces of glass inside a box so that they can be thrown away responsibly. Um, and yeah, the thing is basically still out on my driveway. So I wanted to cut some glass lids. I've been putting it off for forever because um, there comes a point where you have to measure, you have to scratch the glass with the little etcher thing, you know what I mean? And you have to break it and see what happens. I have no real experience with this. I have a good amount of breaking glass um, from my childhood hobbies of breaking things that are glass. The sound is amazing. Um, but yeah, I'm gonna be doing that soon. Um, what else did I do? Oh, I got my CPR. Got my CPR recertification complete and sent to the HR department. Um, and I renewed my nursing license, so I've done that as well. Got to do that every 2 years, along with your education credits, some of them state specific. So, important information they want all of us healthcare workers to know as well. There's the jurisprudence part of it, so laws that have changed and things like that. And I believe the other piece that was specific for Texas, but I bet you that it is throughout probably the South and in many other states, human trafficking, how to identify, what to do, how to report. So, um, yeah, man, I can still stay gainfully employed, y'all. Well, thank you very much, HHD. The sound of scraping glass and then the snap sound when you break it along the line. Yeah, look, man, I bet you that's really satisfying. man, doing stuff isn't my thing anyway. And then on top of that, doing stuff and failing at it is also like, I think I think that other doing other stuff that I've done before, I would put above doing something new that I could fail at. So um, yeah, man, I've been feeling the psychological strain. Uh, I feel that media is trying to put the fear in you, no matter how, make us feel that there's a lack of resources, lack of everything. And you know, if you turn off the screen and you go outside and you look around and you talk to your neighbor, you realize that there's only something wrong online. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Um, but yeah, we did the round robin reading at the CPR thing this weekend. Not everybody's a great reader, y'all, and it was more of the group than I thought that it would be. And yeah, that is, I mean, possibly scary. I mean, like, you can get by without reading a lot easier, than you could in the past. I think there's way more pictures, you know what I mean, than there used to be. But yeah, and then my interactions with the public in general at the gas station and things like that have not been satisfactory. I've not been enjoying it. So trying to stay positive, but I think that just holding up in here and only hanging out with my fish friends is my strategy. So we'll see how it goes. But through self-reflection, I realized that a lot of this could be on me and like how I am. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not blameless in any of this. You know what I mean? Like, I realized in the past, like, I was just thinking about it, and like, this is the type of day I'm having today. Just thinking about like things that I've said in the past, like, I don't know who any of the Aquashella guys are. It's just like, I have met and talked extensively with all of the people involved with Aquashella. If like it freaking turns out, I just didn't know who they were when I was talking to them. But me talking to you, like, it doesn't matter to me who you are. We're just two people talking. You know what I mean? Like, and whatever our conversation is about is like, you know what I mean? Like your place on the status poll and stuff like that is just like not important to me. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, if it's relevant to the conversation, by all means, like, bring it up. You know what I mean? But we're just talking about our love of fish or something like that. So it's just like, turns out it's not that I haven't ever spoken to them, because at the end of Aquashella last year, we were talking to one of them. He came up to us as like we were gathered up in like a group, and he was talking to us. You know what I mean? And I was like, "Holy crap! You're like Aquashella guy? I didn't know that." You know what I mean? Like, which is bad. You know what I mean? Because I'm sure I said some stuff that he was like, obviously this guy doesn't know that I'm running this thing. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. So sometimes it's on me. At at the Clash last year, there were several people that I talked to, and they're like, "Yeah, you remember talking to me?" And I'm like, "Not at all." I was, I was a little down the whiskey barrel. You know what I mean? Like, you were talking to my brainstem at that point. Um, You know what I mean? Like the recorder wasn't on, you know? And yeah, I mean, like I kind of feel bad about that. You know what I mean? Like I want to remember people and I want people to feel like they're special, you know what I mean? But also like me making you feel special is like that's not my job, you know what I mean? Like and it's not your job to make me feel special, you know what I mean? Like everybody's got to we're all on our own on that accord, you know what I mean? Like we should come together and like be cool. I don't know. But yeah, man, my brain's been scattered a little bit. You know what I mean? Like I've probably been sleeping too close to a magnet or you know what I mean? Like I don't know. It's odd. It's odd. Like right now I am sensitive to noises right now. Like everything like auditory like seems too loud. So we'll continue to monitor the situation. Um I don't think it's time to bring the psychologist into this just yet because I feel that a lot of my symptoms are just side effects of living in our current society. You know what I mean? And I feel like these are actually perfectly logical responses to what's going on. But, you know, there is a there is a fine line between self-awakening and schizophrenia. You know what I mean? So, you know, keep you gotta keep your eye on it. You gotta keep your eye on it, y'all. CC, you decided against going to Aquashella in favor of the Lone Star Cares convention and the Clash. CC, those are the other two events that I'm going to this year. I will be going to Dallas Aquashella most likely because when I go there, my niece lives in Dallas and it is something that she and I do together every year for like the past like 3 or 4 years now. So as long as she's interested in doing that, I feel like it is my duty as an uncle to show up and go do that with her. You know what I mean? Like we get our faces painted, we take our picture in the reef booth, we you know what I mean? Like we get ice cream dots, you know what I mean? Like all the fun stuff. We hold every reptile that somebody will let us hold. And apparently my face looks like somebody that can that you know is responsible or something like that. Either that or like all of the reptile people are saints. You know, very well could be. Very well could be. They might all be saint like people. You know what I mean? But yeah, man, we've been having a blast with it. So yeah, that is probably why I'm going to that one because I feel like if that was not the case, I would be I would be not going to that one. Like I'm like pushing my boundaries by going to all three. But the American Library Association, I've been wanting to go to their event. I know that Ed has been to it several times. That's the one that comes to mind. There's many other people that go to that. Like Fish Tank Barn, of course. You know what I mean? Like Skull, I'm sure if he's not there every year, is there every time that he can go to it. With his interests in the fish that he keeps. So like I've always wanted to do that, and the fact that it's the next town over from me in Texas, like the fact that it is like an hour and 20 minutes by car away from my house, like this is the year to go do that, you know. And yeah, to skip the class for a year. I thought about that as well, but this is going to be a very special year. But every year is a special year. But I mean, like, come on, the wedding? Come on, man. Come on. I mean, that's a group sing along times a million. So that's why I'm going. Only Oscars. I get dizzy if too many people are talking. Yeah, hearing loss has strange side effects. Yeah, okay. I've had, let's see, this wasn't last year, this was 2 years ago. I had there were a couple times when I was at Aquashella walking around in the crowd and trying to get somewhere, and I was like, I just need to go somewhere and like sit down for a minute. And like I don't know whether I was dehydrated, hungover, probably both. Um and yeah, but like the crowd was like overwhelming and I got a little bit dizzy myself, you know what I mean? And I was like, I'm a little bit overwhelmed. I need to freaking stop for a minute. HHE, they face paint at Aquashella. Yeah. Man, I'm forgetting the girl's name, but I just want to promote her and tell everybody about her. So I will make a point this year. I think she goes to all of the Aquashella. She does some other stuff too, but she's an artist and she sets up at these events and stuff like that and does face painting and like there's a freaking line, man. You know what I mean? Like, and she does good stuff. She did New Local Austin on my cheeks. She did my logo on my face because that's how you do it at Aquashella. You just put that logo on your face. But yeah, no, she's real cool and yeah, she's like Sam Scales in that way. And I guess we could say that she's like uh well, Sam Scales is another artist and Kelby blah, 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 Shelby and the Garden of Eden, they are at many shows as well. You know what I mean? So like these guys are like the true like spend like some time like on the road doing their thing, you know what I mean, like at these events and stuff like that. And there's so many others that I couldn't even name like 1% of them, you know what I mean? And that would be all the people I know. There's more people than that that I haven't even met, you know what I mean? But like yeah, so that is one of the things that she does. She like sets up and does face painting and like kids freaking love it. I love it, you know what I mean? Like, but you know, I also might be the biggest kid there, you know what I mean? Like, I'm sure I could find a fight with somebody, you know what I mean, that they're the biggest kid there, and like we'll see, you know what I mean? Like I was in choir, so I mean like I got size and I'm loud, but other than that, I don't have much street fighting ability. Uh but yeah, they do. They got the face painting. CC, it is you want to know what? I will say that there are a lot of kids there. Um and there is a area with kids activities and stuff like that. So like uh coloring sheets, some crafts, like different stuff. I They may have an event where the kids are doing some tanks and stuff like that. But I'm not sure. Um, but in the children's play area, you know what I mean? Like because it's like a children's like activity area. So basically your kids can be there and then mom or dad can like tag off from there, you know what I mean, and like go around and make purchases and things like that that they need to and stuff like that. But yeah, I think that Aquashella is advertised towards families and stuff like that, and I think that that is super important. It's like it's like a big, it's a, there's a lot of like the large companies there, like Fritz. I think Fritz is like one of the major sponsors. So I think everybody that has a big booth there is also like a sponsor of some sort, and stuff like that. So I think the booth is like part of the sponsorship and stuff like that. But like Fluval will be there. Uh let's see, Higer was there. Like tons, like, so you've got that aspect of it, which is huge. And then you've got all these vendors of fish, plants. um there was a guy doing man, I forgot his channel name. There was a But he's the guy that does like that did the smallest saltwater tank or whatever. I think he has it and he can strap it to his chest. That guy, he's awesome. I had ice cream with him. Yeah. Like, yeah. But he was doing aquascapes for people, and they could buy the aquascape and take it home, you know what I mean, like, and like he'd build it right there. So that was pretty cool. But yeah, man, it's a go go in and see all of the stuff, you know what I mean? And like, what, there's a huge raffle every day on both days. So there's a huge raffle going on. There's an aquascape competition going on. That there's so much going on, and like so much to see about the hobby and stuff like that. Like, it was in the children's area. I got sidetracked. In the children's area, there was a big fish tank, like a 55, and it might have been bigger than that, because like, you're in a convention hall, right? So if I tell you that it was a 55, like in my living room, in the convention hall, it might have been like three times that size. But it had nothing but glowfish in there. And that was the first place that I saw the the glow angel. And I talked to somebody at the glowfish booth about it, and they were like, yeah, that is the first time publicly that the angel fish has been shown off. So like, it was just in that tank in the children's area, you know what I mean? And like, that's awesome, you know what I mean? Like, I did a short on it. I think I did I think it's a Born Slippy is the song. And the fish was just swimming underneath the light, and like the glimmer like coming off of him was like glitching out my freaking phone. Like, I don't believe I put a filter on that. I might have, because like, what, that's all I have to do to put a filter on it. So I may have put a filter on it, but I don't think I did. I think it was just shimmering that much that it was like messing up. You know what I mean? Like, it was hard to photograph because of the bright light like coming off of it. But yeah. So yeah, it's just really big, and like everything, and like so many vendors and stuff like that. So like, it's very American in that way, you know what I mean? Like, everything all at once. And I was in there with my niece, and we were palling around, and Fathom Aquatics was giving away all this stuff for my fish room that I brought up there to like hand out. And like, people were just lined up, and they're like, well, how much is it? And we're like, dude, man, is there something in here you want to try? I'll give it to you. You know what I mean? Like, that's what this is right here. Like, and like, honestly, like, it was the purple Moscows, which I had like too many of, because you know, they're live bears and they do what they do. So they were threatening to like bring down my fish room and like start tanking tanks, and like lives were about to be lost. So you know what I mean? Like, so there's no loss in like giving these out to strangers. You know what I mean? Like, and it was all the plants that took off and like jungled up all my tanks and stuff like that. And so many people in the hobby are like, yeah, man, like I don't know about plants, like I've never really done it, like I'm not in, I don't know how that would be. One of them was the guy from Beanstown Aquatics. Like he was like, I never really mess with plants, you know what I mean? He goes, I keep big fish, they're probably gonna eat them anyway, you know what I mean? He goes, I just really haven't ever gotten into the plants at all. Like I'm just like so far down the cichlids, you know what I mean? Like, and Vibes and I went over to his shop, beautiful, large tanks. You know what I mean? Like, I'm really excited for that guy. But he's just across the aisle from where we were hanging out as like fish tubers and stuff like that. And there were some tables and chairs over there. So people that are wandering around have time to sit down and like kind of chill. You know what I mean? So it was nice. And I was like, yeah, man, take some of these plants. You know what I mean? Like try them out. Like I was like, you've got nothing to lose. There's no money involved. You know what I mean? Like just do it. So like that's kind of what I did at Aquashella last year. And I may or may not do it again. It was kind of a pain in the butt to like get it all set up and everything. But I mean, like, what else are you doing other than like, so I mean, I might do it again. But yeah, man, it was fun, and I just set up my 20-gallon tank. I didn't, you know what I mean? Like I asked, I asked Jason from Primetime Aquatics. I was like, hey man, I'm thinking about just doing this. Like I'm set up to do it. Like, what do you think? He goes, I don't think anybody's gonna have a problem with it, and if they do, they're gonna come talk to you. He was like, just do it. He was like, no, that sounds great, man. Do that. That sounds fun. You know what I mean? So like he was into it. You know what I mean? Like, but yeah, I asked a peer. I asked a peer like, hey man, do you think they're gonna like care? And he's like, well, no, they're not gonna care. So, but like, I mean, like, there was a there was a gentleman my age that got a pair of guppies, and he was just so freaking stoked about it. You know what I mean? I'm like, that's awesome. And there were tons of kids. You know what I mean? I'm like, what? I handed you like a fistful of like Java moss. You know what I mean? And a mystery snail. You know, I kind of wish I still had some of those mystery snails now because I lost them all. But yeah, that's what Aquashella is. It's like it's a big event, and it's fun, and they want social media types and stuff like that. If you're a YouTuber and you're small and stuff like that, like like they'll give you a wristband. You know what I mean? Like go show up, tell them who you are, and they'll give you a wristband or they won't. You know what I mean? Like my niece didn't get one. You know what I mean? I let her wear my name badge around. You know what I mean? She was fine with that. You know, but my niece's my niece's channel changes names consistently. So I was unable to tell them what her current name was. So that was red flag number one for them. You know what I mean? And I believe it's not fish specific. Um, so you know, but yeah, they were like, yeah, but you're talking to your 300 subscribers, you know what I mean? And like you're doing your thing, like freaking like why shouldn't you be able to come out here and be a part of everything that's going on? You know what I mean? So that was kind of like my takeaway from the talk that we had as a group. Um, they're like, it's no loss on us for you to be a part of everything that's going on and be part of the excitement and talk to people about fish. You know what I mean? Like that's cool. So yeah, no, it was a super good time, and I had so much fun meeting Fathom and Fish Wit and man, everybody. You know what I mean? And I would say that is one of the smaller groupings of fish tubers was last year. Still had a blast. So I'm really excited to see who from social media community and stuff like that. Who was I talking with about this? I was talking with Garcia Aquatics. He said that he was planning on going to the one in Jersey. I was like, they haven't had one up there. So now that's close to so many people that weren't close to Florida, aren't that close. Like Chicago is like the closest place, and that's still like you're trekking from the East Coast over to Chicago. You know what I mean? But that would have been the easiest one, the closest one for them to get to. And then the one that's going to be in, are they doing Vegas or is it California somewhere? I can't remember, but I'm interested to see who it's close to and who's able to come out. You know what I mean? And like, so I'm looking forward to seeing pictures of people that are palling around at those two events. Asaya Llewellyn says Aquashella is both of those things, fish and family. Yeah, they want it to, it needs to be a family event. And honestly, like something that big, something that there's so many spectacles around. Like they had a big enclosure that had like a, it had, I want to say it was a Komodo dragon, but I don't know my reptiles well enough to tell you that that's what it was. You know what I mean? But like the sucker was 4 feet long and like it was in a cage. You know what I mean? Like a big cage. You know what I mean? So like the spectacle of it all and stuff like that. Like, yeah, that should be, yeah, kids should see stuff like that. Kind of like the livestock show and rodeo in Houston and stuff like that. So many animals and competitions on people that have raised animals and stuff like that. You see all the cows, you see all the everything, you know what I mean? You eat some fried rattlesnake, you know what I mean? Like there's a lot of spectacle to it all that like is cool and memorable. So yeah, I don't I don't talk down on anybody. I try not to talk down on anybody trying to do something. You know what I mean? It's just like, but yeah, no, that's definitely big and huge, and it's continuing to change and stuff like that. And you know, I mean, what do you do with the social media folks? You know what I mean? Like, they're not the first person. They're not the first team to like have problems and like try to figure it out and like make some missteps or whatever. Um, so yeah, I'm not mad at anybody. But I am excited about that star thing in San Antonio because it's the ALA, and so what is a star because there's like 5 different groups, you know what I mean? So like there's going to be a lot going on there. There's going to be a lot to see. So I'm real excited about that. It's in my backyard as well. So come on, you know what I mean? And the Clash remains the only fish show that I've been to that is like got like a competition like that of fish that is that expansive because like at Aquashella there's the American Shrimp Contest, but that's just shrimp. And I want to say flower horns. There's a flower horn competition that's going on too, but like it's just one type of fish. You know what I mean? Like there's so many categories at the Clash and stuff like that. Like I was able to like check off my list like fish that I don't see like at my that I don't see at my fish store that I haven't seen at a that I haven't seen at an aquarium visit that I went to. You know what I mean? And stuff like that. So it was really cool to see all those fish in person because there's so much there's so much about a fish that you can't get from a video. So Cece, I can't take my kiddo to some of these bigger events. She has autism, and big fish events are sensory nightmares. No, exactly. You know what I mean? So yeah, making some inquiries at an aquarium or something like that and being like, hey man, like what are your slowest times? And like do you guys accommodate in some way? You know what I mean? You can find that out, and like you know what I mean, like so like an aquarium sort of a thing can be a better way for her to interact with that, like for sure. And I think my mom was telling me they have like senior hours at like her grocery store, and I want to say it's a Randall's. I think it is. I could be wrong, but they they dim, and it's but it would also be for like special needs and stuff like that. Like they dim the overhead fluorescent lights like quite a bit and stuff like that. And it's like on a morning, and it's like one of the slower days of the week or something like that. So it's interesting. I think that face painting should be people that actually paint with their face. Yes. I I think that that's interesting. Um, it takes a special sort of person to do that. I feel like the current face painters aren't ready to do that yet. Just like here's $20, let's rub faces. You know what I mean? Like there might be rules against that actually. I'm not sure. Everybody before you set that up, check your local laws laws and regulations. Um Grant. That's right. I couldn't think of Grant's name. Grant and Shelby. That's right. Cat shows. By Red Angels. Asaya. I can't wait. I think it's going to be fun. I'm looking forward to it. Saint Stuff's live plants scared me at first, not gonna lie. Yeah, man. Yeah, June. That is the truth, but like they're expensive, but if you end up having success with them, they reproduce themselves. You know what I mean? So it's kind of the same with the fish. And some fish are very expensive, but it is not hard to find an affordable fish. It's harder to find affordable plants, but I think it's just because so many of the plants don't make it. You know what I mean? Like just because of like moving them around and stuff like that. And like, but I'm still on the easy end of things, but yeah, like we just need to help each other out. And when we have success, I'm like, I have no more room to put any Tiger Valve because Tiger Valve is taking over all my tanks. So when I take all the Tiger Valve out, I find somebody in the community that wants some Tiger Valve, and I just mail it to them. Like that's what we need to do for each other and stuff like that. And shipping is stupid expensive, and I don't see geopolitically that shipping is going to come down anytime soon. I I have a sneaking suspicion that it's going to get worse. So, um, then plants are expensive because you are uh, paying for shipping. You know what I mean? So, like, we need to. I don't know. I don't know the answer to that. Hello, Joy of Fish Keeping. I'm way behind in chat. Sensitive friendly hours. That's right, Asaya. They do have them at the Children's Museum. That's so dope. Well, let it be known that Jake wrote that comment, not Katie. Man, if that is about the face painting, then I'm out because I was wanting to rub faces with Katie and not Jake. So never mind. Hey man, I always assume that I'm speaking to both of you. You know what I mean? Like one of you is typing, obviously. I mean, don't both type at the same time. Oh, special hello to Doc Awesome. Welcome to my fish room, sir. We're just talking about how I may or may not be crazy. The Aquacella event, face painting that is just people rubbing their faces together with paint on them. Stephen P weighing in on the plant thing that I was talking about. The member plant system has been pretty successful in terms of offsetting most of my shipping costs and not having to throw away plants. That is true, and I have been a recipient of a member plant package and stuff like that, and I think that I think that not all of it died, Stephen. I think that what I think that some of the things that you gave me are still alive, and I'm still propagating. Like, hold on. And so, Stephen, um, here, let me do this here. So, I'm going to hold it up against a sheet of paper that's white so that you can see what the heck I'm talking about, Stephen. So, this plant that is showing kind of reddish, but not on film. That's what it looks like when it's big. No, that's a different species. And it's the underside of the leaves that are showing red. So yes, this plant, and then that one. And that one ends up getting reddish a little bit. And then this one is the one that is Bacopa, and it's been going like gangbusters. I've got it floating in like so many tanks, and I got it planted in a couple spots, and it does well or doesn't do well depending on whether it's bothered by the fish. So the Scarlet Temple, okay, the Bacopa, um, the Rotala. I don't know whether it's the Scarlet Temple or whether it's a different one. That one's Ludwigia. Okay, I've got a plant book I won last year at the Clash. It was the only it was the only thing that I put tickets in. I was like, I'm putting all my tickets. I'm putting all my tickets in here. I want this book, and I got it. As a matter of fact, Whip was going to it and was holding on to my tickets, and picked it up for me. Tops of the Ludwigia leaves, yes. Um, and then that small one that I showed you was a Rotala of some sort, I believe. So yeah, that is the small one, and like, but yeah, like I said, these are the first stems that I've had, and I still have three of them. And what, Stephen, like, this was a while back, so I mean, like, I feel like you sent me like 6 or 7 different things, maybe more. So that's awesome, and thank you for that. I'm still benefiting today. I didn't kill them all. I killed like half of them, maybe a little bit more than half. But I don't know what I'm doing. You know what I mean? So like, it's pretty awesome. And you picked species that you thought people would have success with as well. You know what I mean? So pretty awesome. Thank you, Stephen P. Got my Texas Fish Room shirt on. I believe it is Jeff does what now? Aquata Repens. Because that's one of the few Ludwigias that you'd send. Right? They're called stems because they take their water from the water. Wait, they take their nutrients from the water column and they root themselves in the soil, like a guppy grass will hold on to things and stuff like that, but it's not trying to like grow up from the soil. And hornwort doesn't do that either. It's more of like, those are like more like floating. Are they still considered stems? I'm talking about stuff I don't know about. I'm sure this is great. This is this is a great live stream, y'all. This is freaking awesome. So good. Yeah, only Oscars sometimes. And I am scared of fertilizer, which is gonna be holding me back eventually as I try new things. Um and because of that they grow wonky. You know what I mean? Like and then other times it's the fish that are just messing with it. Cause like I'm sure there's plenty of nutrients in this tank here. Let me flip my camera around real quick. Look at my nostril. There we go. Oh wait, which one? There we go. So if you look at this bacopa, there is a another plant like hanging out near the top that got put in there. But these guppies are pretty rough. So this bacopa, there's obviously plenty of nutrients. This is like aqua soil and stuff. So there's plenty of nutrients here. And there it is. There's happy new growth and stuff like that. But look what the guppies have done to pieces of it. It's just like so like close together and the leaves are misshapen and it's because there's so many fish in here. You know what I mean? So they're like one of them starts nibbling at it and then everybody's like, "Oh, there must be something good about that." So everybody's doing it. But I just keep adding to it and putting more stuff and as you can see, it's growing up to the surface there. So that one needs to be cut somewhere around here or lower if I want it to branch if I want the branching to be down near the bottom and like coming up. But yeah, that's like the bacopa. Um, there's bacopa floating at the top of that tank. Um, bacopa floating on the top of that tank. Bacopa that I put in a cup, and like there's more of that. That's a better view of that plant, Stephen. So yeah, that's a repens of some sort, or is that the sunset something? Remember, there's a sunset something that you sent me as well, and then my tiger vow. So yeah, that looks like I mixed them, but here's like a good view. So I think that's the R1. And so I've got very little of the repens. But yeah, man, it's wild. Backup camera, front camera. All right. Hydro sunset. Yeah, no, for sure, Stephen. And then also at the same time, let's consider the fact that these plants are not getting the fertilizer that they may or may not need. You know what I mean? So like some of these might be growing under duress. You know what I mean? Like they've become like ugly monsters. You know what I mean? Yeah, so that's for sure Rotala. Yeah. And then the hydro sunset like is like Bacopa can also be found hanging baskets to have nice flowers at your house. Yeah, I've actually thought about doing some of that like as an experiment as well, like taking some of these plants and allowing them to have their feet wet. Um and growing them outside of the tank. Sleeper barbecue. It's okay, man. If you can't hang, go rest. Be awesome. Try to be nice to people, but you know what I mean? Like I don't think it's required anymore. Um Nobody's checking. Yeah, I feel like I might have killed all the hydro sunset, but like, and it might be the Ludwigia that's still here. Immersed. Yeah, man. Hey, you guys get some rest, man. Like that's what it's about, y'all. Like I understand not everybody can be here. I understand that people will be apologetic and then stream right over the top of you anyway. You know what I mean? But it's a rough world out there. What are you going to do? You know what I mean? You got to accept the apology and move on. You know what I mean? Like what you think about it doesn't really matter. But it's been a fun fish talk tonight for sure. And I really am loving this tank right here. And that dark space is actually a piece of wood that forms a cave, and it's got Saswassertang growing on it, which is awesome. And then behind it is a bunch of guppy grass, but that all forms a bulge like in the center, directly underneath the light. So we know why it's there and why it's like that. But if I remove that, it seems like the back of the tank is like in the front. It's tiger bell, but it's real spread out in runners and stuff like that, and it's not like clumped up and overgrown yet, so that might not take all that much thinning and stuff like that. So I'm almost done with like pulling the plants out of this tank here and seeing what's going to happen with it next. I'm really happy with this one turned out good. um So yeah, I'm just going around the room and doing that. Um, but yeah, I'm trying to thin out my tanks and stuff like that. I want to get some I want to get into crypts, and in order to do that, I have to have places in my tank to put crypts. You know what I mean? So that means that I have to remove some plants in my tanks and stuff like that. In order to do that, and I'm excited about that. Uh, I want to order from Crypt Keeper. I like the way all of his plants looked at where did I see them? I saw them at the Clash, and he was having a 50% off sale at the Clash, and I was telling him, I was like, man, those plants like are not going to live if I try to take them on a plane home, and I don't want to mess with it, so I'm not going to buy them today. I was like, I'd rather order full price and pay the shipping, buddy. So that's where my Crips adventure is going to start. Um, or my latest one. I have a couple Crips and stuff like that already, but I'm talking about like ordering like 3 or 4 different varieties, you know what I mean? Or maybe 7, I don't know. And like fooling around and seeing what happens because I like the way they look. And I would like some things that grow flat in the foreground, and some of those Crips are real good at that, and stuff like that. So that um yeah, a lot of problems with most of my tanks is that there's plants that grow from floor to ceiling that are up front, and like that doesn't work. Should the valve be kept on the runner or cut? I've been cutting them off and replanting. Yeah, you can definitely cut them off, June, and replant them. When I'm gathering them up like I am and putting them together like in a cup, I am cutting all the runners off because all of those runners, when I try to group them together, it doesn't work. But I've been putting them together and running them as like tufts, like put a bunch of them together and like have a tuft of grass. And I like the way that it grows in, and it doesn't seem to die when I do that to it. So, and floor to ceiling works for only Oscars. Like, this is what I'm talking about. So you see, I just gathered them all together at the roots and tucked them into a little plant cup and filled it with rocks. And I trimmed the top of it. And I've been doing that in the sand and gravel of some of my tanks, and it's been growing in like fairly well. Looks pretty wild at the moment, but you can see what I tried to do there. So yeah, man, that's what you do, but with the planters, June. Yeah, no, I like it a lot. You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of what we called it. My mom called it monkey grass, but it's like the grass that everybody puts around the edge of their flower beds and stuff like that. So it's just a blade, and it grows in a thick clump. You know what I mean? So you can have it like as a edge, and then you can just kind of trim it and whatnot. But yeah, I like it. I like it in big, thick tufts like that. I think that's fun. Your jungle val was 4 feet tall when I kept it in my 500-gallon triangular aquarium before we moved. So yeah, that 500-gallon aquarium, it wasn't 4 foot high, was it? It was, wasn't it? The Val Contortionist CC is my favorite, and that one seems to grow so much slower than the Tiger Val. Um, I still have quite a bit of it, and I've been doing the same thing with it, putting it in clumps and stuff like that. And yeah, that's what I like. I love the look of that. So it's 4 foot high, 4 feet wide on the two sides, and 8 foot front panel. And that jungle valve would grow longer than that, right? And then like kind of cover the surface. Cause like I've found that when I am like trimming in a tank and stuff like that, like it gets too long and it's like I do like some of it sweeping over and it can do that again. But like when I'm trying to like clean up my tank and stuff like that, I just like I pull it all up and out of the water and then I trim about an inch below the surface of the water. And that's how I've been neatening up the tank a little bit. That's awesome, CC. The crit wait, the valve contortionist. So it might be differences in our water or something because like so like right here and then look at this one right here. It's growing like so much thicker. Like that's as thick as my finger. Like I don't know what's up with this one, but I like it. I don't know what is making that happen. So maybe I don't have the right nutrients because my jungle valve is growing so much faster than this is, and it might have to do with like what's missing in my water. Like I said, I'm not fertilizing, but I've got a bunch of it over here, and it just makes me feel like it's just not getting enough of something. But yeah, like my valve just craziness. There's Jethro. What, bro? Bruh. You know, that's a deal, CC. We'll work that out at some point. Plants adapt when they can. Growth and speed is always relative. Yeah, it's kind of what I figured. Um, aka corkscrew valve. Yeah, got a 40 breeder just like chock full of it. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, man. Like, and that's the thing. Like, we should just have conversations with each other and stuff like that. And it's just like, hey, man, this is what I've got. Do you need anything? Do you want any of this? And find somebody who wants that, and then what they've got extra and stuff like that, and then we exchange. So then it's like, you know what I mean? Like everybody pays shipping once. Yeah, only Oscars when it's straightened out, it's much longer. So yeah, I don't see any babies in any of the tanks that I put the rosy barbs in. So I think I'm gonna put the males and females in at the same time. And we'll try it again. I'll put them in for a couple days and then I'll pull them and check 5 days later. And so we'll just do a week on, week off. And you know, I only need them to drop a bunch of eggs and put a bunch of fry in there, just, you know, like 2 or 3 times. You know what I mean? And I'll have enough rosy barbs for my rosy barb army, and I should have some extras to share with friends and stuff like that. So that is my plan. My plan is musical tanks right now. So that is what I'm trying out. Ladies and gentlemen, it is Thursday, May 6th here in the capital city of Texas, Austin. And we're still here. Um, we're doing it. It's been a wonderful witching hour. Stephen was talking about wanting something to keep him going more towards 4 a.m. And I'm thinking about it. Um, I think if everything is continuing to go well with me, I'm not there yet, but I'm on a trajectory. I don't know words. I am I'm on pace to add a pop-up stream every now and then if it's fun and I'm not having trouble coming up with content. I mean, I'm doing a lot without any content right now, you know what I mean? So to talk about like during the streams and stuff like that, I might end up doing it on the regular and see who my regulars are in the middle of the night. Get the Australians involved when they're not experiencing a typhoon or flooding or fire or snakes, spiders. Like they got a lot going on. You know what I mean? Like who doesn't, right? Yeah. Some regulars and stuff like that, hanging out and having a good time. Oh, Dixon Design, you've been lurking because it's hard to type in the dark. Love you, beautiful people. Hey, we love you too, girl. Juanita, Juanita Pepita. I'm glad you're here. But yeah, I was thinking the same thing, Stephen. And if you know what I mean, if you're wanting if I'm wanting something in the middle of the night, you know what I mean. It's just like, why shouldn't I do it? You know what I mean? Like, it's a definitely a possibility. So I think I might, um, get in the middle of something or like, I don't know, something that requires repetitive motion, takes a while, and I could do while sitting down and like reading chat and like hanging out. So you know what I mean? Like it might be like some craft type things or something like that. You know what I mean? Like there's room to like hang out and talk while you do that. So yeah, maybe something like that. Yeah, especially weekends. Yeah, especially weekend nights. Unfortunately, for weekend nights, I work every weekend. So you know what I mean. I'm like, I've done that. I've done that to myself. But I am still enjoying the gig. I am still glad that I do what I do. It does kind of hem me in like a lot as far as like hanging out with others and doing stuff. But I'm okay with that. And the forced solitude uh, gives me opportunities for personal growth that I don't that I wouldn't get to if I wasn't like hemmed in some way schedule wise with work. So um Because if I was just doing a daytime gig or something like that, and off every weekend, I would be going to bed I'd start doing what everybody else does and go to bed early and wake up early, because that's what my wife does. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, have a lot of time for reflection and the late hours. But also with the clutteredness of the of everybody streaming at the same time and things like that, I bet as soon as I move it from like 1 to 3 in the morning, I bet you there won't be any problems with people streaming over other people. There'll be plenty of room, and we'll see who's there. You know what I mean? Like I said, I only need 5. You know what I mean? Like, you guys are blessing me with three times what I need. But honestly, I could do this. I could do this and have a great time with just 3 people in the chat. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, I just want to have a conversation. I want to show off some things in my fish room, and I love talking. You guys noticed. So, you know what I mean? Like, it's great. And yeah, once a week is good enough for me right now. And we're going to keep the Wednesday schedule. But like I said, if things keep going well and stuff like that, I mean, there's no reason why I shouldn't be popping up a little bit more as I get out of stagnation and start doing some things. There's no reason why I shouldn't uh, take some pictures and do some short vids of projects that I'm doing and stuff like that and put them out as content. Um, it doesn't have to be beautiful. I just got to remember that there's beauty in rawness. That's what I'm gonna go with. CC, you know, I couldn't tell you. You know what I mean? It does look suspicious. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of things that happen that make it suspicious. But also, you know what I mean? There's people that take up too much room. You know what I mean? And that's fine. Everybody's allowed to stream however much they want, and it's free. And but I mean, like, people have been criticized for being on too much. You know what I mean? But you know what I mean? Like, it sucks when you try to get on and look at and want to chat somewhere and nobody's streaming. You know what I mean? So, you know what I mean? Like, perhaps people that stream all the time aren't the problem. You know what I mean? Like, if there was somebody always streaming, you know what I mean, there'd always be somewhere to chat. You know what I mean? So, like, it's 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. But yeah, I mean, it is what it is. But I think an hour and 40 minutes is plenty of time for us to hang out. Um, that's right. See, yeah, some just don't have a schedule, and I like that too. But we'll get through it all. It's fun. Um, and like I said, yeah, you can't complain about anybody else, because I mean, like, what's the point? First of all, and second of all, like, it shouldn't matter. It shouldn't matter, and it doesn't in the long run. So I love you guys. Have a great night or morning or whatever's going on with you. Let's check in with the Australians tomorrow and see if they survived the cyclone. I know that we got people in harm's way. We got to make sure that they're all right. And also, we need to give them time to have the power come back on, you know what I mean? And stuff like that. So, to everybody, much love.